Girl, number 106. And the topic today is one that I have been thinking about a lot lately, especially because of our times. So it is all about apathy. And apathy is really the lack of concern. It's indifference. It's the don't care. It's the I don't want to care. And it's when we started things in our life, like our goals and our dreams, and they were big and we were excited about them. And we get started and we work and we work and we work and we plan and plan and work and work and work. And then little things get in the way, sometimes that take more time, that take too much patience, that test us a little too far. And then we allow that attitude of, oh, what the heck? I didn't really want this anyway. Forget this. I'm not going to do this. Yep, that's apathy. Then we go into this lack of concern or indifference for a temporary time. Then we go back again, we brush ourselves off. Okay, any of you relate to this? We brush ourselves off, we get half into it or half even mad at ourselves for even giving up or giving into this feeling of apathy. And then we take another ride on the circle again, take another ticket on the same ride. Apathy is definitely a cycle. So this is one of the biggest dream stealers that I have seen, not only in my personal life, but in really countless other people's lives as well. And as I've coached a lot of people and been involved in some of their successes in life, in business, in just general friendshiping, what I do know is when we do not pay attention to our own apathy, then we can really fall into like a default mode. And many of us have this preset ourselves for that default. Now, you guys know who you are. So, some people are just riding on the first 25 years of their life. They don't have much they don't do much to survive now. So once we have kind of like settled into that safety, we're kind of pre-programmed to default to apathy. So it's paying attention and knowing that you are also probably buffering. What is buffering? We've talked about buffering on Rich Girl before, and I think it's safe to mention it again. But it's doing something to avoid feeling. It's doing something to stop us from committing or leaving or living our adventure. And bottom line is buffering is super popular way to avoid something that's going to really change our life in action, in real action, real positive action. It is an act of overdoing whatever we can do to kind of numb ourselves out, like overeating or over binging on TV or too much social media, over organizing, overthinking. That's buffering, you guys. So here we know this. When we have optional goals, okay, and that's really what a lot of us are facing today, optional goals in our lives. Many times we give into, oh, well, I just blew it. I'll allow it to be another time. Example, let's just say that you're in business and you say to yourself, I'm doing X amount of contacts every and you even say to yourself, oh gosh, I've already blown it for the day. I'll just start next week. So it's kind of of our past human existence. I mean, I can't even imagine a caveman. Think it keeps us safe from failure. No kidding. So we go into this default mode. We never have to risk anything. We never have to put ourselves out there in front of the intense emotion that we feel. We can avoid a rejection and a bunch of other emotions that involve risk, involve stepping out. Now, when we're slipping into apathy, which is indifference, okay, apathy is indifference to ourselves and it becomes familiar, comfortable, and even normal, especially if we've lived in apathy for very long. So it's time to ask ourselves, what have we done? What have we done, especially in the last 5 years of our life? What have we contributed? What have we given to ourselves and others? This is not a guilt ridden, Suzanne's guilting you on anything. No, this is just a self assessment, good question to ask yourselves. The good question to ask yourselves: when you love yourself more, you're more likely to risk more, right? Right. Loving yourself is a very big part of really being able to push down apathy in our lives. But let's be really clear. It's really not what you've consumed, not what you have listened to, watched, taken a course in. It's not even watching Rich Girl. It's what you've done with what you've seen, heard, listened to, or taken notes on. It's what you've done. Many people consume information as a buffer, as a way of not taking action. So the way to measure this is what you have done in your action line. Okay, what have you done in your action line? What have you created that wasn't there before? Okay, creating experience. How much risk did you have in creating it? So many people get exhausted and are just not interested. We get tired, we get overwhelmed, we have a little bit of energy, not enough, and we haven't cared for our energy. But committed to apathy can be a dance. It's an interested, not interested. Interested, I'm not interested. It's a dance, but it's all about neglecting ourselves as well. So, you know that the opposite of love is hate. Well, it's actually not. I think the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. Some would rather be hated than ignored. Chew on that for just a second, okay? So neglect is the worst type of abuse. We tell ourselves we don't have time. We tell ourselves we don't have energy. We don't have time and energy to care for our own lives. Our own attempts even seem worthless. We avoid, we ignore, we run away, we hide. You guys, that's all apathy right there. Boom, that's apathy. So you don't have to be mean to yourself right now. You don't have to whip yourself up. In fact, that's the worst thing you can do. What cures apathy is holding yourself in the highest regard as possible. Never neglect yourself. Self love. It's not selfish. It's the best thing you can do, because if you don't put that oxygen on yourself, you're not going to have enough to spread yourself around with all the things that are on your plate today. We say things that hurt our regard, our best regard of ourselves, like, oh, well, I really don't care about my weight anymore, or I'm not really concerned about relationships, or this or that, or I kind of let my goals drift a little bit, or my dreams, or I'll pick them up later. See, I'm just trying to get through the day. You guys, you hear it, right? You hear that's all apathetical kind of attitude. Time to put more into our emotional health, because our emotional health is what drives every single thing else in our life. Yet, we're not really taught that, are we? Aren't you glad you get to listen to Rich Girl? Because I want to make these things apparent to you so that you have a Rich Girl experience every day of your life, which means you get to live full out every day of your life. So you can tell the difference on how you treat yourself by the way you feel. So if you feel self-cared, or are you feeling like avoidance? Think, in a perfect world, how would you care for your life? If this world were perfect, how would you be caring for yourself? Most of us can hold, possibilities and probabilities for our children more than we do our own. We care more for our children than we do our own self. We're so focused on our past that we have actually even become apathetical about our future. So let's care about your future. Let's care for you like you would a child, right? Care for you more. That's the actions taking you towards making this place a better world, a better place to live in for everybody. You see, discipline is growth, is caring for yourself. The cost is so high to give into apathy. Oh, you guys, it's way too high. Instead of moving within some of our negative emotions that really can be a helpful emotion for us, some of us want to avoid that. We want to avoid sadness or depression. We don't want to feel those things. But if we move into apathy while we're kind of avoiding those feelings, we can go numb to what is authentic. So we're in a great time of uncertainty, you guys, in our world. I have never seen so much uncertainty in all of my life. Do you feel the same way? With uncertainty comes a host of what our topic actually is today. So what can we do? What can we do? Well, we want to feel better so we can do better. We want to feel better because we want to do better in our lives. None of us wants to be apathetical. It's so unattractive, even to ourselves. Yeah, right? So we're just going to give you a couple of really quick tips that I have found work for me. And I want you to know that this topic is coming out of my own life. I get inspired and not inspired by some of the things that I'm going through in my life, and that's currently has been apathy. Okay, number one, hold on to what's certain in your life. List the things and the people that you are certain about because uncertainty breeds a lot of apathy. Reconnect with dreams, reconnect with people, reconnect with your goals that are certain that you are certain that you actually want. Now, want to also say that apathy tries to talk you out of what you don't, what you think you wanted, and you do want, but it tries to talk you out of it. And it does it pretty well. Okay, but number two, let's go on with this. I want to stay on what you can do. Give gratitude for many things. Give gratitude in all things. By saying it, giving pause to that, focusing your attention on what you are grateful for versus not grateful for. I am certain for the love of my family, my children, and a few great friendships. Giving attention and time and caring to them stays me away from the uncertainties that I may be feeling at the time. Okay? Self-awareness is a big deal here, you guys. Seriously. Number three, self-care. Talked about that earlier, just a few minutes ago. Daily exercising. That'll do more for you and your happy hormones than anything that I could even tell you about. Plus, it's also a great stress reliever. When you self-care, you are reducing apathy. Eat right. Eat right now. Okay, you can change the way you've been eating right in the middle of a bag of potato chips, right? But give yourself a start for caring for the body in which you make your tummy feel better. Okay, and you know what makes your tummy feel better. So number four, plan a couple of times a week doing something, going somewhere that you haven't done or gone before. Get out of the house. Just don't go to the same places. You know what? When you love yourself, you're able to risk a little bit more. And some people going to a new place feels like a risk. Number probably because I'm trying new foods right now. But also try helping people that cannot repay you back. Two is justserve.org. Great place to find where you can serve locally in volunteerism. Number six, break patterns that make you feel sluggish every single night. So do something different. Read, work out, make an appointment for social will promote your business in any way. Paint some furniture, redo your office, okay? Just break the patterns of what you normally do every night at 7 or 7:30. Okay? And number 7, healthy way to change is the best way. These healthy ways to change, the best way to overcome apathy. So number 7 is pick one or pick all of the ones this week. Yeah, it's good to be with you on, I can't even believe it. Like, did you hear this? Like, what number this is? Number 106. Yay. Okay, you also find me on YouTube, Rich Girl our recordings hereafter. Bye bye.